Greetings, mortal, and welcome to a spooky Halloween video, because it's October and there's some spooky things to be spooked. I thought that I would do a little collection of spooky reads for you to enjoy during the month of October. I've chosen this shirt because it is the nighttime, and the nighttime is the spookiest time of all of them. Spooky read number one. I've definitely recommended it before because it is great, and it's a spooky book, and it's a queer book, so obviously I never shut up about it, is The Accident Season by Moira Fowley-Doyle. It's a mystery and it kind of treads a line between reality and non-reality, so it's like, is this magical thing happening or is it just this person's mind playing tricks? But it's also super fun and it has queer representation, just like I said, so I love it. Also, Moira Fowley-Doyle just came out with a new book called The Spellbook of the Lost and Found, which I think is along the same kind of lines. I haven't read it yet, but I'm super hyped to do so. If you're up for a thriller rather than a spooky slow read, Contagion by Terry. Very memorable name. Well, how did I forget that? This is a book about a virus of sorts that spreads throughout the UK. But it's like following the virus as it spreads, and it's the first like few days of the contagion spreading. So it's like, everyone's freaking out and everything's going mad and everything's like closing off and trying to stop this virus from spreading. And it goes so fast. I literally read it in a day and it's like that thick because I was like, I need to find out what's happening. And then I got to the end and realized it was not a standalone book. It was in fact a trilogy. That's okay, because apparently the author's working on the next ones right now. Another book that I left with my parents, The Call by Peter O'Guin. Okay, I don't know how to pronounce it. I know it says it on his website because I checked how to say it before and then I forgot. The Call was so scary. I also read that one really fast because I was just like, I need to find out what happens to all of these characters. The Call is set in sort of an alternate version of Ireland where there's like this other reality that contains these like fairy monster creatures, and it's sort of parallel to Ireland, and this like fairy dimension will sort of pick humans out and then they're gone for a minute in the human world, but they're there for a day in like this other world and they just chase them. If they make it back, yay. If they get caught, then they get all like mangled and there's a lot of like gross body stuff they do. So it's really spooky and gross. I really enjoyed it. And I believe there's a sequel out now, or coming out soon. While we're on the topic of just freaky things, Coraline, the graphic novel. You may have seen the film of Coraline or read the novel, but this is the first incarnation of it that I read that I had to read for uni, and my goodness, if you thought Button Eye's mum in the film was freaky, you ain't seen nothing yet, because she is worse. She is worse in this book. Coraline is about a girl that moves into this new house and she finds a number of strange things in it. There's a door to like another version of the same house, but everything is strange there, and that other version really wants her to stay and she's not sure if she's keen on that. I think mostly the illustrations are really creepy because it's a lot more realistic than the film looks, because the film is stop motion animation, everything's like rounded faces and looks more cartoony, whereas this is like not photorealistic, but everyone looks like people, so then when they don't look like people it's really alarming. Next up, we got some ghosts. It's the Shades of London series by Maureen Johnson. This is the first book in the series and there's 2 more out at the minute. I think there's another one coming along quite soon. It's a story about this girl called Rory who's from America, and she has this near-death experience, just like a stupid thing. I think she like chokes on something and then nearly dies. But after that happens, she's able to see ghosts, which is not that big a deal where she's from in America. But then she moves to London and London has a lot of ghosts. I think in the first one there's a whole story about like a Jack the Ripper mimic killer happening, and it's like, is it a ghost? Is it a guy? And this group of people that can also see ghosts end up teaming up with her. That's just this book, because then more happens in other books. I'm just glad for you, because if you start this series, you get to read all of them right now, whereas I read them sort of as they came out, and the gap between 2 and 3 felt long because of a thing. That is all. Finally, we've got one more graphic novel, and if you're a fan of Stranger Things, maybe this is for you. It's FIFA Girls, which is by Brian K. Vaughan, who also wrote Saga. I just love this cover. Look at the colours. Ooh, it's so pretty. This is actually set on Halloween, so I mean, this is the perfect novel to be enjoying. It's about these 4 teenage girls that do a paper round and some strange things that begin to happen on Halloween night. Are they supernatural? Are they aliens? That's the mystery. I'm not gonna tell you. That's it. That's my spooky reads for Halloween. Enjoy them. I had the idea for this video about 8 months ago and I wrote it down, and I'm so proud of myself for remembering where I wrote it down and for remembering to do it at all. A round of applause. Thank you, thank you. Let me know any other spooky reads that you have to recommend, because I like them. I like being able to devour a really scary story really fast. And generally I'm better at reading scary books than watching scary films, so those are the recommendations that I'm truly after here. Thank you very much for watching. Enjoy your spooky Halloween, and I'll see you tomorrow. Wieder, 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 spooky wieder. It's about these 4 teenage girls that do a paper round. A paper round. Good.